Monster trashing the house?
Oh no. Angry doesn't begin to cover it!
I find it infuriating. People do not know anything about the card market, yet they put their money there. So let's get into the question, the topic, the post, and how I react. So here it is, controversial opinion. Question of the day, which I don't find it controversial. I actually find this a smart question. Why is Mickey Mantle value so high compared to other players of the same caliber? I don't know his stats. Well, that's important. You'd think that has something to do with it, but compared to some other players that I would consider in the same category, he comes up a little short. If you don't know his stats, how do you know the category? But let's continue. Not saying he's not in the top echelon of baseball, I just don't think his career stats make sense with the hobby value. I'm prepared to get hated on. Don't get hated on. This is a great question. I mean, there's no reason, unless you're implying something, that the hate to come. Now, it's social media. He understands this. And some, I wouldn't say hate, but some interesting comments. So first, we're going to attack a common one, or respond to a common comment that came up. And that is the fact that he was white. So unpopular opinion, he's white. Let's take another one. He's absolutely incredible talent. Break in the league at 20 or 21. Played in the biggest market. This is true, by the way. This is absolutely right. Super likable on off the field, and he's white. An elite white player in the biggest market of the most popular sport in the 50s, when life was great. Unless you were brown or a woman or gay, other than that, it was awesome. You realize the people are buying the card now, not the people that lived in the 50s or 60s. These are people collecting or paying for it that weren't alive. Whoever bought that card was not alive during this time. Just to be clear, LeBron James has the price for the all-time highest basketball card ever sold. It's tied for fourth all-time over any other card. Are people buying that card because he's black? Of course not. He is a generational talent that won titles in Miami, in Cleveland, in LA, and maybe that's 3 different cities competing for a LeBron James card, or just someone that lived in a random place that likes LeBron James. The highest selling football card all time, get ready for it. Not Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, also the highest selling football card all time, selling for over $3 million. So black and white has nothing to do with it. And then I just want to go back into vintage baseball, and we could compare Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Jackie Robinson, and their prices. The highest Jackie Robinson card ladder has valued at right now is a $2 million 1948 Leaf for Jackie Robinson. If we take a look at Stan Musial, on the other hand, the highest card they have for him is a 1948 Bowman PSA 10, valued at $770,000. Black and white. Willie Mays and Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron, current high value card on card ladder is his 1954 Topps. They have it valued at $6 million. Okay, let's take a look at Ted Williams. Ted Williams, not only white, but a war hero, selling for highest card 1939 play ball PSA 9, selling for $520,000. So first off, Mickey Mantle does have cards in that caliber. His top card ever all time sold for $12 million. I understand that, that's a lot of money. But there are other players out there. Hank Aaron's highest card sold for $6 million. Now that we've moved past the idiocracy of social media, let's get into the real reasons. And some people posted this. Number 1, stats. He won 7 World Series, so not only stats, but he was a winner. And not only did he win, he won in the biggest market in all of America. Those 3 things are what we get into next. The next big reason here is, number 1, stats do matter. We look at the WAR. That's something we need to look at now. Here is the WAR. In the WAR, you can see the top 1, and Mickey Mantle falls at 21. Now, if you don't know what WAR is, this is a top analytic used in baseball, okay? And it's wins above replacement. It basically tells you how good a player, how hard they are to replace. The higher your WAR is, it's accumulative over seasons. Generally the better player, and Babe Ruth happens to have the highest WAR of all time. And well, it shows in his index. His highest card ever, his value in card ladder, is an $8 million card for Gowdy, 1933 Gowdy. His next one, 1933 Gowdy in a different variation, valued at $2.5 million. It's a lot of money. He's the top WAR player of all time. Cy Young on that list. Now, we're going to look at Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens in a minute. They don't come close to the value of these other vintage players for a reason that we'll get into and maybe you can already think of. Stan Musial was 11th on that list. We looked at Stan Musial. Ted Williams is 14th all-time in WAR. We looked at him. Mickey Mantle is 21st all-time WAR, so he's an all-time player. Mickey Mantle, the difference between him and Stan Musial is Mickey Mantle won 7 World Series in New York. New York is a huge market. Let's take a look. Some of these comments had it nailed. That he played in a big market. He was a 5-tool player. He played in the biggest market. He was a winner, and he captured the imagination of many. I don't think anyone hit as many home runs consistently as Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle was a great fielder. He was a winner in a humongous market. That is the big difference. New York has money. How many Fortune 500 companies are in St. Louis where Stan Musial played? How many, the one and only stock market is located in New York. That bell rings in New York. There is tons of generational wealth and money in New York, and that is who is coming after Mickey Mantle. Same thing in LA when you're looking at someone like Kobe or Magic, or same thing even in Boston or Chicago. These are big cities, not as much money as the #1 market in New York or a #2 market in LA, but still a lot of money, whereas one of these comments mentions Albert Pujols. Albert Pujols has way better numbers in Mays and Mantle. Go look for yourself. While Albert Pujols does maybe have better power numbers, he played first base, not as athletic of a position, and in his very late career played DH. Albert Pujols does not find himself on the top 21. However, he is 29th all-time in WAR. So to back the point, he is a very, very good player, a generational talent, and he did win World Series in St. Louis. But back to the point, he did not win 7 World Series. He also did not do it in New York, where New York is going to have a bigger demand and more money to put into cars. How many people live in New York? Let's take a look at the population there. And how many people live in St. Louis? Let's take a population there. And the money gap is humongous between the two areas. So that says a little bit that yes, maybe you can take some insight to that of you should be collecting if you're doing it for hold or value or flipping, maybe in bigger markets. Doesn't mean you have to, but that's part of the reason Mickey Mantle is a highly sought after, highly regarded and expensive. But don't discount his stats. He's one of the best players of all time. And yeah, he does have other comps that maybe it's not quite as expensive, but very expensive. Last, I want to get into Rarity. All these players we mentioned, they had 1 rookie card. That's it. They have 1 card for the season, and that's all. And not many stayed in good condition over the last 50, 70, 100 years. Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, started in the 80s, have many, many, many cards. It's coming in at a top 10 player of all time, #4 in WAR ever. Roger Clemens, #8. Now they're clouded with steroids and all this, but why are their cards not even close to the same price as some of these players we looked at? Well, all these vintage players we looked at prior to the mid-80s had 1 card produced every year. They had 1 rookie card. And it's very rare that that rookie card made it in good condition through 50, 70, 80 years to now, where there's very few in high condition, where there's thousands, if not tens of thousands, Barry Bonds rookie cards in a grade PSA 9 or higher, a PSA 10. I mean, there's 6, 7 different companies or variations of the Barry Bonds rookie card. And that's from mid-80s to now. That is a humongous stark difference. Now, there are these one-of-ones and these rookie patch autos that didn't exist, and we'll see how they age. And there's been clearly demand in a market for them. They've sold for higher. These LeBron and Currys and Mahomes, these rookie patch autos have sold for higher than some of the vintage stuff. But just to make the point that, yeah, the Mickey Mantle had 1 rookie card. Jackie Robinson had 1 rookie card. That's it. And it's very rare they stayed in good shape. People didn't put them in top loaders or nice cases. They didn't have sleeves to put them in. They played games with them. So there's just very few. And so those are the reasons that we can point to why Mickey Mantle's card, and not just his other vintage, anything prior to the mid-80s really, has a chance to be very, very valuable, because there was 1. We're not used to that. And I don't think the market, obviously the price has shown that, but I don't think the average collector or person in the market gets that, especially if you've just gotten into it in the past 2 to 5 years. That's how collecting works, by the way. you collect your generation, you collect your guy, and eventually you realize, oh, they retire. And for the next generation to be worth anything, the last generation has to be worth something. And a lot of collectors start looking to the past and collecting vintage or collecting things from the past instead of looking to the modern. They had their time, and now they realize, okay, I want to continue to dabble into older. And that's the only chance the new stuff has it being worth anything. If the old stuff isn't worth anything, why should the new stuff have any value at all? It has to prove that it can hold value to put anything into it. I hope you enjoyed. Give a like and subscribe. These videos take quite a bit of work. It's just myself. And it also knows that I should make more like this. I think this could be a fun video series and some good content. Have a great day.
What up, everybody? This is Robert Ory, aka Big Shot Bob, and you're watching Professional Sports Cards. Hey, by the way, go buy my rookie card.